We are saying that the human condition, which is the human consciousness, not only the individual, the particular consciousness, that consciousness is part of the whole of consciousness. I wonder if you see this. Your consciousness, living in a town, living in a village, living with a husband, wife, or girl or boy, that little consciousness, with all its problems, whether you live in a happy community or not a community, whether you're living happily with your wife, with your girl, or whatever it is, happily in quotes, that small particular consciousness is the consciousness of the rest of the mankind, because they are all particular little consciousness. I wonder if you see this. So your consciousness is not separate. I know one likes to think it is all special. But our consciousness and its content is put there by thought. Right? Thought has brought about this limited consciousness. Now, to observe this consciousness, however limited, to observe its activity without any direction, just to observe, not choosing I'll keep this part and let the other part go, just observe the whole content. When you so observe, which means there is no observer who is the past, then that consciousness has no center. I wonder if you see this. Our consciousness now is self-centered, right? Me and my activities, me and my problems, me and my job, me and my wife, me and my other wife, other girl, me and so on, so on, so on. This consciousness is the movement of thought. Thought has put in this consciousness various activities, belief, dogma, rituals on the one hand, all that's going on called religion, and the business activity, the activity of personal relationship, grief, sorrow, pain, anxiety, guilt, all that. All that is our consciousness. And that consciousness is the consciousness of those people living in Russia, or India, or China, or America. So, if one realizes this, that we are part of the whole of humanity, not English, British, all that kind of goes away, then we become extraordinarily responsible. Not to my little family, but to all human beings. After all, that is love, isn't it? To feel totally responsible for my children who must be educated rightly, not be conditioned to particular form of British outlook or French outlook, or the Russian or whatever it is, educated so that they become religious human beings. Because in that religion there is unity. which is not to be organized. And right education implies that sense of freedom from fear, from this terrible anxiety to fulfill, and so on. This is not the moment to go into all the right education. So when one feels that one is representative of all humanity, then you become extraordinarily responsible to the whole of mankind. Therefore, there will be no wars. You don't see all this. There will be no nationalities. That is actual, you understand? This is not a theory. But when you feel that your consciousness is the rest of the mankind, because they suffer in India as well as you do here, in America, and so on, so on. So our consciousness is the consciousness of mankind. And in the freeing of that consciousness of its content, we have responsibility to the whole. And that is essentially the nature of love and compassion.